Hi, this is Geneva. This is the week three discussion on empathy and visual art. Um, on the first question, so it's just like share about your own experience of gratitude. My experience is um my dad died when I was 8, and um though it was a painful and it was a really hard experience, um I ended up getting to go down a path he would have wanted for me because I then it was made available for me to get to go to a private Christian school, and um, the support that people gave us, and just how I saw God's love through this really came through. And it was a really, it's been really hard, but it's been so powerful how God can use um, tragedy and turn it into something good. Because he does everything for our good for those who love him. So, um, Um, I would probably have how I would paint this or illustrate it is I would have a picture of my father's tomb, but then I would have um light and just new creation growing out, and I would have Jesus smiling down on me and my family. And I see the ex voto tradition and empathetic art relating to each other in that um this is how people understand their stories or are able to connect with others through their stories. And like, I think it's so powerful to be able to connect to other Christians or just with people in general that God has created, and um, getting to share stories, because that's been how humans communicate throughout all of history, is through stories. And just it's such a powerful testament to the fact that we are made by a creator and loved by him. Um, because he uses people's stories to bring others to him. And I think the culture context are really important, um, because while Ex Voto is mainly like um, South American or Latin American, um, it's it's such a beautiful thing. And um, empathetic art is like, while it's not necessarily religious, it can definitely have depending on what country it's in, it's going to have a different cultural impact because they hold different things special to that culture. And finally, like the who's behind the creation of works impacts what art is made. Um, I think ex votos would be different if the church had commissioned them, because kind of like how Michelangelo was commissioned for the church, um, it's not going to be as personal because the church is going to want um things about they wanted things about the Bible in general, and the creation story, and just it wasn't a personal aspect of everyone's story is different. So it really changes because that, like some of the art we talk about in Theo 102, um, it's for specific people and specific stories that got saved, but whereas ex votos are for the everyday common person whose stories aren't normally heard. So I think if the church had commissioned them, it would be very different, and especially even if they were made to sell, because you're just hearing from one person's story, or maybe it's one person who's creating art according to other people. Um, so yeah, with the visual art I've seen, um, it's like it's so interesting to hear the story behind it and why it was created. But I don't think there's not really like it's so personal. There's no everyone's going to view art differently and differently than how the creator maybe intended it, but the creator can still that's okay. Everyone's going to see pictures and art differently than maybe how it was intended. There's so many that's so beautiful because so many stories can be interpreted differently. So, yeah, thank you.